Hello and welcome to the Boss Body Podcast. This is Sarah Haas, and I am so glad you are here. Today, we're going to talk about 3 easy ways to create those habits that stick. So, a lot of us know a lot of what we should do to improve our health. And we have the best intentions of putting these habits into place and maintaining them, but that becomes the challenge. And most of us have tried and failed over and over and over again. Think about the New Year's resolutions that you had that have faded away by February or even sooner. And unfortunately, that's where the weight cycling comes in. And that issue that I hear from so many women, that they put these habits in place, they're going well, they are releasing some weight, and then somehow that habit doesn't stick. They fall back off the wagon, they gain the weight back, oftentimes even more. And it's so frustrating. And we feel bad about ourselves, and we have so much shame and blame, and we think we don't have willpower. We think we're not self-disciplined, and that we just don't have the motivation to stick to our goals. And that is so damaging to our self-esteem. And when you don't feel good about what's happened in the past, you're less likely to try it again because you just don't feel like you're going to be successful. And I want you to be successful. I want you to not only be able to implement healthy habits, but most importantly, to maintain them. And that's why I'm here today. I'm going to give you 3 reasons why what you've been doing isn't working and how to actually create those habits that stick for good. Before I jump into those 3 reasons, let's talk about willpower. What we interpret as willpower or lack thereof is actually habits. So when our actions develop into habits, eventually they become second nature, and they don't require a lot of mental and emotional energy. And so they don't require willpower. So if you've ever noticed that people with good habits seem like they're not even tempted at all. So instead of lazing on the couch, they're heading to the gym. Instead of grabbing fast food, they're making something healthy at home, and they don't spend a lot of time thinking about it. They just do it. And we interpret that as, oh, they just have willpower. But I'm going to talk to you about the difference between willpower and habits, because there is actually scientific reasons for this and what is going on inside your brain. First of all, willpower is naturally going to ebb and flow. Nobody is motivated all the time. And when people create habits, it actually creates these strong neural pathways in your brain. And whatever habits you're doing over and over and over again create those pathways that are stronger and stronger. And our brain is set up to conserve energy. So wherever it can, it's always going to take the path of least resistance. So it's going to automatically go back to those neural pathways or those habits that are the strongest. Think about when you're driving home from work and you take that same route day after day. And sometimes when you get home, you don't even remember driving home because you were in your head, you were thinking, you were somewhere else. You don't even have to think about which exit to turn off of or what turn to make because it has become a habit. Or in the mornings when you get up and brush your teeth, you don't think about it. You're not motivated to brush your teeth necessarily. It's just something you do. It's just a habit that you've gotten into every day. And you can actually change those brain pathways. And it can be difficult at first because it doesn't feel like second nature. You do have to think about it a little bit. And over time, you can adapt these new pathways so that those become the strong ones and the old ones fade away. So I am going to talk to you about the 3 reasons that you don't stick to a habit and how you can make good habits consistent. The first one is if you create a goal that is too difficult. So you're trying to change too much all at once. Most people want to make these changes and they want to see them happen as quickly as possible. But if you're trying to go from 0 to 4 gym sessions in a week when you haven't been going at all, or you're trying to completely overhaul your diet, or let's say you're trying to get into the habit of meditating and you set up a goal that you're going to meditate every single day, 7 days a week for 20 minutes when you haven't even been doing it for 5, or when you decide to do a workout, it's this long, grueling, intense workout. And then what happens is you get sore, you get tired, you get achy, whatever it is, it's too hard, it's too big of a goal, and it's almost impossible to sustain it. So the solution is start small, make small incremental changes because that makes it easier to adopt a new habit and that's going to set you up for success. So, for example, if you want to get into hiking, don't start with a grueling 5-mile hike. Start walking 10 minutes briskly each day and start getting in shape and working your way up to that. Or let's say you want to start running. Start with a small, like couch to 5K program where you start walking and then you start increasing your walk jog and you slowly build up to where you want to be. And a lot of times, the hardest part is getting started. So, I want to give you a hack for that. And this is what I use in my own life all the time because let's face it, I'm not always motivated. I exercise regularly, I exercise 5 to 6 days a week. But some days I really don't want to. There's always going to be those days. So, the solution is just focus on starting. Don't look at the whole thing, everything that you're hoping to achieve. Just look at putting your shoes on and walking out the door. I take a 3-mile walk several days a week. And on the days that I'm really not looking forward to it, all I focus on is that first step. So putting on my shoes and stepping out the door. Or if you want to meditate, don't think, okay, I have to meditate for 20 minutes. Just sit your butt down on the cushion and tell yourself, just start. If it's 1 minute, it's 1 minute. When I'm going to go out for my walk, I tell myself, just put your shoes on, just step outside the door, start walking. And then if you're really not feeling it, you can go home and sit back down. 9 times out of 10, I end up feeling good. My blood starts flowing. I start getting oxygen. I'm enjoying the outdoors and it's feeling good. And I end up doing the whole 3-mile course. And you have to be patient with yourself. You're going to build on your progress little by little. And I know this is hard because I know you want it and you want it quickly. But honestly, if you really want to maintain something, you have to take it slow and do it step by step. And sometimes this is discouraging because we don't see these immediate big results that we want. And then we want to just say, okay, forget it. I'm not doing this. It's not working. It's not happening quick enough. But getting healthy is a marathon. It is not a sprint. And that brings me to the second reason that it's often hard to stay motivated and stick with your healthy habits and what you should do instead. And that is we struggle to stay motivated and we get frustrated if we aren't seeing those big results quickly. So, one of the ways that you can counteract that is by setting up some kind of accountability for yourself. One way that works really great, it has proven to make you more successful, is using a buddy system. If you want to walk every day or go to the gym, you are much more likely to show up if you've got somebody there that you know is waiting for you and expecting you to be there. And also, it's more fun. You can talk and chat while you walk, and before you know it, the walk is done. Another thing you can do is go public. Go public with your goal. Post it on social media. Share it with your friends. Share it with your family because you're going to feel more accountable if you've put it out there and said that you're going to do that. Another one is to find people to socialize with who've already accomplished what you're hoping to accomplish. So it's that peer pressure. We are strongly influenced by the behaviors of the people around us, and good habits are contagious. So if you see people who are a little ahead of you on that learning curve, we tend to adopt those same goals that we spend of the people who we spend the most time with. Another awesome way to hold yourself accountable is getting outside help. Hire a coach, hire a trainer. I cannot tell you how many of my clients keep coming back to me because they just need that accountability. They just need that check in. I have women that I train doing personal training, and they've been with me for years and years. And they tell me over and over again, the reason I know what to do, I know how to do all these exercises, but if it's up to me to just go to the gym, I'm not going to show up. But I know that I'm paying you and you're expecting me to be here at a certain day at a certain time, and that keeps me showing up. And the same thing with people that come to me for nutrition guidance. It is that checking in, that constant accountability that keeps you on track. Also, write down your goals. Put them pen to paper and then post it where you can see it. This helps get you focused on that end result and consistently keeps reminding you of what you're working for. And finally, keep track. Keep notes of measuring your progress along the way, because when you can see that progress right in front of you in black and white, it really helps keep you motivated because you are seeing how far you've come and how you started and where you are now. So there's a funny strategy that I read about that the comedian Jerry Seinfeld calls the don't break the chain strategy. So he set a goal to write one new joke every single day. And he had a calendar, and every single day when he wrote the new joke, he put a big red X on that day. And when he's looking at his calendar, he didn't want to break that chain. So this is really smart because it gives you that visual reminder. And the longer your chain grows, the harder you're going to fight to keep it going. So get a calendar, put the days on it that you're going to walk or you're going to go to the gym or whatever it is, the habit, the goal that you're trying to achieve, and make a big X on it and celebrate every time you put that X on there. And when you look at your month and see all those red X's, it's really going to motivate you to keep moving forward. And the third reason that we tend not to stick to our new habits is life happens. All right. You get sick, you take a vacation, you have an especially big, stressful project at work, and you miss a day or two and you get discouraged and you go all the way back to zero. Again, that's that black and white thinking. It's that all or nothing. So I want you to focus on progress, not perfection. So no matter what it is that you're setting out to achieve, go easy on yourself. You're not going to be perfect. You are going to fail sometimes. You're going to take 2 steps forward and 1 step back. And forming new habits takes time. There's going to be bumps along the way. And if you tell yourself this from the beginning, then you're much less likely to hit a bump in the road and just forget the whole thing. And if you're like most people, you're so good at beating yourself up for something, bad performance or whatever, than you are for rewarding yourself and patting yourself on the back for the achievements that you've made. And research shows that celebrating your successes is crucial for motivation because every time you do that, no matter how small of a success, you activate this reward circuitry in your brain, and your brain releases feel good chemicals. And then those emotions motivate you to take more action, which just moves you forward to creating better successes in the future. It goes back to what I said earlier. It's those neural pathways, and your brain wants to feel good. You want to feel good. And when you associate these small progresses, these small wins that you've achieved with feeling good, it's going to motivate you to continue taking action. So when those times happen, when you get off track, if you miss a workout, or if you fall off your eating plan and just go off the rails over the weekend, don't beat yourself up. Don't throw in the towel. Just get back on track. You can get back on track anytime. And if you lose momentum, you can always pick up where you left off. Like I said, everybody's going to have setbacks. Everybody is going to have what we interpret as failures. Overall consistency is what creates success. So it's not what you do once in a while that makes or breaks your health, your wellness, your goals. It's what you're doing day after day that adds up. And if you see those red X's on the calendar and you see more X's than you do blank pages, that's a huge success. You can see how those good habits are stacking on top of each other and adding up and taking you closer and closer to your overall goals. Thank you so much for being here. That's all I have for you today. I hope this was helpful. Get out there and just start. Start small. Good luck, and I will see you next time.